Hello and welcome to Journeying 101, a four-part series intended to give you a basic foundation for navigating altered states of consciousness. In this series, we will discuss intention, set or mindset, setting, and integration. In other words, before, during, and after your experience. In today's video, we will talk about setting. What is setting? Setting is the environment in which your experience takes place. Why is it important? Imagine for a moment that you are sitting in a cold room with plasticky walls with little scribbles all over them. In the air is the smell of rancid bleach and feces, and a bright white light is shining in your eyes. Outside, there are all sorts of loud, crazy noises. What I have just described is a festival porta potty. Now imagine that you're sitting there high as a kite. Not great. Setting is very, very important. So, how do you achieve an optimal setting? Well, the first and foremost thing to consider is be safe. Always let somebody know what you are doing and where you will be. If you are new to navigating altered states of consciousness, it may be a good idea to have a guide with you, particularly if you're working with psychedelics and you are new. I would say always have a guide with you, a trip sitter, if you will. So once you can ensure that you are safe, there are 5 things you can consider, the 5 senses. So we'll go through them all, looking at sight. What sort of environment are you in? It should be clean. It should feel safe. It really helps to have different iconography and images that really resonate with you. These could be things from your culture, things from your spiritual or religious background. It could be things that remind you of family or happy times. It should be presentable. It doesn't have to necessarily be very colorful, but like I said, it should feel safe. The second thing, second sense, hearing. What are the sounds like? The type of sounds that you have in your environment can make a big difference. A lot of people like to have nice, soft, meditative music. But you could also consider looking into icaros, which are traditional medicine songs in the ayahuasca space for those ceremonies. Considering and looking at the sensation of touch or feeling, temperature is important. Is it very hot or very cold? Well, that might be a little uncomfortable. Are you dry? Is it clean? These are all things to consider when it comes to touch. Additionally, if it is cold and you're using blankets, consider even the texture of the blankets and how that feels for you. Looking now at smell. There are all kinds of things that you can do with smell. First and foremost, the place should smell decent. It should smell nice. You can enhance smells by using different incense. There's some options such as copal. Traditional incense sticks. You can even use different herbs and different methodologies of steaming. So these are all some things you can use for the smell of the environment. And of course, last but not least, taste. With taste, you should be careful to avoid any sort of overly processed or very sugary or salty foods before, during, and after your experience. Make sure that you also have some water handy. This is going to ensure that you can really pay attention during the experience, and it's particularly important depending on the type of experience that you are having. And if you are working with certain psychedelics, particularly one such as ayahuasca, then it is really important to maintain a fairly neutral palate throughout the experience. Limitations of setting, as with all of the limitations, are that it does not control the experience. However, it greatly influences it. Again, going back to the example of the festival porta potty. not a fun place to journey in. So make sure that your environment is safe, make sure that it's clean, and if you go through all of the five senses like I walked you through, then you should have a wonderful setting in which to journey.